I know you want to know, why are French bulldogs so expensive? How come I can go onto all different social media platforms and I can see them for 15,000, 5,000, 8,000? And we've all seen the videos of the ones that are in the amount of my car, thousands. Why are they so expensive and what is the range? How do I know I'm getting a good one? Let's get into it. Well, the answer to that is there isn't really an answer. The average cost of a French bulldog really should be between $4,500 and $8,500. Anything below or above that, I start to feel a little fishy. And you should too. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to get a lot of backlash for this. And I'm not saying that a $10,000 female or male doesn't exist, because I do believe with genetics and breed standards that it is possible. I just don't know that that's right for the average American or the average person. Even a great breeder with a really large camp that has done their research and is super ethical, a $10,000 dog for the average person, it's really kind of unattainable if you're going to be using the dog for the right reasons. And when I see a dog that's below the average, I'm going to start to wonder how that dog got here and who decided to breed that dog and who that dog's mom is and dad. And then I start to wander into that backyard breeder situation. And that's not good for you as a potential buyer. It's certainly not good for the poor mom. And it really isn't good for the standard that we're trying to enhance and make better and better. So make sure you stay in that range and that you do your research before you purchase. So now that we've established what the range is, and we don't really have an answer as to why the range is so wide and so vast, let's make something very clear. A dog is only worth, and a puppy is only worth what someone is willing to pay. Say that again. AKC papers come with every dog. Now, most breeders and responsible and ethical breeders will look at their litter as they grow, and they'll decide if any of that litter will be sold with full rights to breed, or if they'll just be sold as pet quality. And just because they're pet quality, all that means is you cannot use it to breed. It doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with the dog at all. As a matter of fact, it can be your lifelong companion, someone that brings a smile and joy to your face every day, your little buddy, someone to snuggle with you at night, and for some people, a reason to still be on this earth. So never ever say, I can't breed it, I don't want it, it's just a pet. All that means is you can't breed it, it still has papers, and it is still the most amazing experience if a Frenchie's the right one for you. Now that we've established that, now let's getting into what it takes to even have a litter. And that's where a lot of your money starts and stops. To get a Frenchie pregnant, it's not easy. It may be controversial, but my personal opinion is French bulldogs should not naturally tie and naturally mate. It's unsafe for the female and it's unsafe for the male. So what that means is you're now relying on progesterone tests and heat cycles and choosing the right male and doing your research on your male, doing the research on your female, making sure that both are extremely healthy, no diseases, no genetical problems, and nothing that could hurt the litter down the line. A progesterone test alone, and you might need multiple, can be done by a vet or a local breeder, depending on what your network is, can run anywhere between $100 and $132 to $35 per test. And once those tests are done, you have a very small window in which you can have your dog artificially inseminated. Most average costs on a well-bred and a AKC standard male stud fee is going to be between $1,700 and $3,000. And there's normally a contract associated with that. Your cost for your artificial insemination is going to be, give or take, $300. And that's just to inseminate her once. That doesn't include additional testing for cytology to see if she is in fact 100% ready. And that does not include whether when the sperm arrives to you, because most of the time it is shipped, when it is shipped to you that it is alive, that it is swimming and healthy, and that it didn't defrost on its overnight trip. Now, again, your contract protects you there. However, that's if everything is done right. So you get your 1AI at your $300 and potentially 1 to 2 progesterone tests at between $100 and $135 just to see if we can get her pregnant. Then we start our females immediately on a very high protein, high minerals, vitamins, diet and exercise for 30 days to 35 days, at which time we confirm pregnancy. We confirm pregnancy via an ultrasound. There are tests out there that involve urine and testing it that way, but most of us use an ultrasound. That can run you anywhere between 100 and 150, depending on your vet. The whelping supply list to whelp a litter can range anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000 to have all of the proper equipment that you need. That isn't just a homemade plastic pool with some pool noodles for a pig rail, with a chicken heating lamp, and maybe a homemade oxygen machine, and that's all you need. So much more goes into it. Is there to say that there's people out there that don't use all of these things? Nope, there are, and I'm not judging you for doing so. I am saying, as an ethical breeder, I choose to have the best of the best that I can so that all of my puppies and my female are in the best conditions, and I have everything I need to whelp a very healthy litter. Dog pregnancy lasts on average 63 days. You can choose to have an x-ray done so you can really try to see how many are in there, and even then there can be hidden ones, but that x-ray can run you anywhere between 100 and 115. And when you have that done, you're going to meet and greet with your vet, and you're going to schedule your C-section. Depending on what part of the country you live in, your C-section can range anywhere between $800 and $3,000. When choosing a vet to perform your C-section, I highly suggest that you make sure that you interview that vet and that you all are on the same page. And if you are a first-time breeder, that you've done a whole lot of research to really understand what that means. Anesthesia, healing. How many do they do a year? How do they schedule? Are they going to try to schedule early or late? Do they have a progesterone level that the dog must be at, which should be below a 3, 2 preferably, and a temperature drop so that you don't have premature puppies? You need to ask those questions. Now we have C-section day. Your dog's going to go under major surgery just like any other woman would. It is major surgery, and those puppies are going to come out. And mom is going to be very groggy that first day. And your first 2 weeks, you are helping her. You as the breeder are helping her with those puppies latching, keeping them warm, making sure they're eating every 2 to 3 hours, making sure mom doesn't accidentally squish them, making sure her calcium level is up and that she's getting a very high calorie diet and her multivitamins, that her milk has come in. And if it hasn't, you better have a replacement in bottles and be willing to tube feed. As you saw in my previous 2 videos, I ended up with a cleft baby. There's no cleft anywhere in our line or the sire's line, but it can happen. You need to be prepared for everything. So if you want to know why Frenchies should average between 4,500 and 8,500, that's why. Know what you're buying, research your breeder, be friends with your breeder, talk to your breeder, and know that we love you just as much as you love us, just as much as we love them. Till next time.